Everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Creative Katie Karen Burchill. Today I am going to solve the problem of the rice paper that doesn't fit. It's too big, it's too small. How do you make it fit? Here is a beautiful rice paper that has been in my stash for way too long, and because it doesn't exactly fit. I love the art of the rice paper, but I don't want to use all of it either. So here's my solution. I am just going to isolate a couple sections. I grabbed a brush, I added water, and yeah, I lost that video, but I just kind of duplicate it. So I'm going to use the bottom part, this corner, and the other corner. And then I'm going to use the inspiration from the rice paper and create a similar background for this page. It really is that simple. If it doesn't fit, make it fit. I'm gluing this down with fluid matte medium. Rice paper is so easy to work with. You can put it on. If you got it in the wrong spot, you can lift it up without tearing it. It collages down really, really nicely. Now I have this middle piece. What do you do with it? Well, I just grabbed my half composition book and I start to cut some of this off, and then I just decided to rip it, and I am going to rip it and stick it on to another page. This will jumpstart that art journal page for another day. So I kind of move it around, and you're going to see the full video tutorial of how I finish this page. It's coming soon. So make sure you subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button and clicking the bell so that you'll get notified of all my upcoming videos. So once I glued that down, I just set it aside, and let's get back to the page at hand. I decided I'm going to use my Inktense blocks to colorize the center part. Now that surface has been gessoed, and I am just isolating colors that are already in the rice paper. I'm not going to deviate from that. So I have this, I call it kind of a Naples yellow color, and I'm activating it. I just scribble it on. It doesn't go into the paper because it's gessoed, and then I'm activating it with water on the brush. Now I like the yellow, but I decide I'm going to add a little bit more gesso here where that line is, where the rice paper ends and the page begins. Just kind of build that up to make make it less noticeable. Then I add a couple shades of green, and I admit I kind of went overboard with the green. I put too much green and I lost that nice soft yellow. But you know what? If you make a wrong step, you can always undo it. So it's sat overnight and completely dried. And that's the background. It's a little too green. I didn't like it, but I know I'm going to be adding lots of layers. But before I even add anything, I just grab my gesso and I'm giving it a wash of gesso. I thinned the gesso down a little bit, and I'm just knocking back some of that green, softening it. And again, building up that gesso, that line between where the rice paper ends and the page begins. And I've added a little bit of the magenta color with my Inktense blocks again. Just adding just ever so slight amount of that pink to the background. And here, instead of activating with water, I'm actually activating it with the white gesso. It's giving a very soft, watercolory look. And what I'm doing here is extending the rice paper into the page, into the background. Now you just saw me at the top. I put some pink down there and I didn't like it. Inktense blocks are permanent once they're dry, but you do have times to wipe them off if you want to. So I'm just adding this, extending it along the way, and deepening that color a little bit. Now I want to work on that background. And I grabbed this hexagon stencil, and I got the idea because actually there's that pattern in the lower left-hand corner that was on the rice paper. So I'm not even being an original here. And I'm stenciling on with some green. This is Hooker's Green. I also grabbed the Naples Yellow. Now, by using the Inktense blocks and the acrylic paint, they both have different values, different strengths. The Inktense blocks are very watercolory. This is a little bit more opaque. And by mixing and matching your color mediums, you get a different effect. Now I grab this stencil and I'm stenciling this with the Naples Yellow, just ever so slight. And I really like how this added to it. And you'll notice I'm even going over where the rice paper is because I want this, when you look at it, to look like it was the complete art, that it all worked together, that it wasn't pieces of something from here and there. Then I decide I'm going to grab my script stamp, but instead of going with archival ink and black, I'm going with white. I want it soft. So you may not even notice it, but it's very soft on here. It shows up better when it goes over top of any of the darker colors. But not everything that you add has to be so forward. Some of it can be subtle, just hinting a little bit here and there. Then I grab my archival ink and I have this mesh stamp and I'm just adding some of this small scale stamping again over everything, including the images from that were part of the rice paper. Then I decided I want some texture and I want some bling. So I grabbed TCW's stencil butter. This is pearl white or white pearl, I'm not sure. I put it on a key card and I have this tree. I'm just going to use the top of the tree and stencil this on. This is giving bling. It's not adding color. It's pushing back some of the elements that were behind it so that just little bits of our goodness are peeking through. Oh, I like that. It softens it a little bit. Again, it just makes the page all work together. While I did start with that rice paper, I've made this my own. And that's what you want to do, even when you're using rice paper. But it's really hard because the rice paper is such a work of art, usually in of itself. I grabbed from my hit the reset button sentiment pack, the sentiment pause, then pivot. Just a little bit of motivation. Reset was my word for 2026, and I want to do an art journal page at least once a month using the sentiments from this set just to focus me back to my word for my my goal. This is kind of like my New Year's resolution. If you're interested in sentiments, you can go to NINNYSNAPKINS.com. This set, as well as probably 20 other sentiment packs, are available for purchase. They are digital. You can resize them to fit any size project from ATCs to 9 by 12s and beyond. I decided that I needed that modeling paste or that stencil butter in one more place. It just looked odd, so I'm just adding a little bit in this corner. And I'm going right over the rice paper part because that's all rice paper there. Loving the bling. A splatter with the magenta paint and then with black as well. There's the black. Now my black paint, my splatter paint got a little bit dried, but I just add a little bit of water and stir it up and it's good to go again. Now I'm shading with black around, edging the page. This really frames it and just makes it all work together. Just a little bit of shading here and there, adding a little bit of color. And there's the finished page. You can see the bling from the stencil butter and the napkin work together. And I made a beautiful background that goes with it. So that's a way to expand your creativity. Go with the color scheme they give you and see if you can duplicate it or improve it. Until next time, go get creative.